let's talk about your career. What would you call your biggest break in your career, James?
Well, the first thing I ever did where I was able to do some real acting was it was about a year after college, and I went in for a film. It's a true story about a guy who had Tourette syndrome called Front of the Class, and I ended up playing this guy. His name was Brad Cohen out of Atlanta, Georgia, and that kind of was my entry into the business. You know? That's the big jump, is you go from being on a stage in college to
getting
graduating and going like, how do I get paid for this?
Right.
Or get anyone to pay attention? And that was the thing that I knew I could, make a living doing it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then then Mad Men, Billions, Goliath. I mean, you have worked on some great television shows. Now, Watchmen. I do want to kind of jump around a little bit here.
Yeah.
What is it like being on something with a rabid fan base that is no doubt combing through every detail of your show to make sure you are being faithful to what they believe needs to be hewed to completely? What is it like for you?
Yeah, because Watchmen is obviously based on the graphic novel Watchmen. The thing that takes the pressure off for us, quite frankly, is that Damon Lindelof, the creator, basically said, look, this isn't Watchmen, the graphic novel. This is Watchmen, and it's set 20 years, 30 years after what took place in the graphic novel. So it's kind of, to use his words, a remix on it. So we don't feel like we're exactly creating these characters in the exact age that they appeared in the graphic novel with all the chronology of those events. It's set in present day, kind of a dystopian United States.
With the president being?
The president being Robert Redford. Richard Nixon was the president for 30 years, and then Redford got him out of office, and now Redford is the president in our show.
President Robert Redford.
President Robert Redford.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
A river runs through it.
So I think that takes the pressure off, is that you go like, all right, well, let's just roll with it, and you try and just bring as much honesty and integrity as you can to the scripts that Damon and his team are writing.
Right.
And the good news is, I think the fan response has been pretty solid. I think they.
Well, the ratings have been obviously through the roof, and that's one metric in which to measure whether fans are digging it or not. But we also don't know your character. You play a Republican senator named Joe Keene Jr. from Oklahoma, where this is taking place.
Yep.
We don't know if you're a good guy or a bad guy just yet, and I'm wondering whether you could tell us.
So, Senator Keene, and to talk about the graphic novel,
sure.
Keene is the son of this guy named Senator Keene, who appeared in David Gibbons' Watchmen, the original one that came out years ago. And he outlawed vigilantism, which is the whole thing behind the graphic novel, is that superheroes can't be superheroes anymore. And they're kind of in hiding and trying to do it illegally. And so I am his son. And, when we meet Senator Joseph Keene Jr., in the show, he's incredibly ambitious and political, and he comes into the fold, and you meet him, and you just know him as this senator who's kind of has daddy issues. He's trying to surpass where his father was as a senator. He has presidential ambitions. And it was really fun to play this character because he didn't exist in the graphic novel.
Right.
So I got to go like, all right, well, here's my version of this person that no one knows. And no one could say, well, that's not, true to the graphic novel. So there's a lot of creative license for me in the character.
And what can you tell fans about what the hell's happening in this show right now?
So in the show right now, if you've been watching, I think the 5th episode is going to air this Sunday.
9 Eastern.
9 Eastern, HBO. There is a death that takes place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And much like the graphic novel that started with a death and the mystery that surrounds it, our show starts in a very similar way. And you go on this journey with Regina King's character, trying to figure out why this person was killed, who did it, and what was their motivations. And everyone in the show is trying to figure that out. And it's incredibly important to my character, Senator Keene, because he's very close with the man who was killed, to find out why this happened. And it's just a wild ride, man. And one thing I would suggest, actually,
yes,
because my parents are watching it, and they go like, I really like it, but I'm a little confused on this thing. So I sent them an article.
Okay.
I think it was Entertainment Weekly, and it said the 5 things that you should know about the graphic novel to fully, wrap your mind around the show. You don't need to know them.
Right.
But I think it would just give you a little bit of a background if you're going to check it out.
Did your parents ever watch Lost? Did they ever watch that show?
You know what? My parents didn't watch Lost, but I did.
You did?
Yeah.
So you could basically say, look, there's something called a smoke monster this guy once created. I don't know where the hell this thing's going right now.
He's the master of keeping you guessing, Damon.
I know.
He's unbelievable.
I know, and you don't know sometimes when what's real, what's not, or what is really happening. And it's really great. Watchmen, Sunday nights, 9 Eastern time on HBO.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.